We call it Sunday Standouts. Of course, today it is wild card standouts after a weekend that did not disappoint. If you had other things going on, fear not. Take a look. The best of the best. How about the clown mask, Ryan Clark?
I tell you what, after this, they had to think that they were watching it because he came and he was a monster all day.
The masked men arriving. A few masked ravens to boot. All right.
That works.
Here we go. Yeah, Ish. Zeke Elliott, a big day.
Oh.
How about this? The stiff arm. Shaquille Griffin tries to get it, but Zeke says, no, thank you.
You know, I've been stiffed on very badly before. It's like the worst feeling. You're just hoping to grab a shoestring, the top of the shoe, some kind of way, get them down so they don't keep running.
All right, we all knew this, of course. It would be huge. The Phillip Rivers run game, no?
This was awesome.
Huge.
Everything about
quarter Rivers converts to third
and it gets better right here.
By the way,
even better.
his longest run of the season, 9 yards.
Hold on,
yeah,
celebration.
Just how we drew it up. Close calls here. Derek Watt thinks he has a touchdown catch, and so do his brothers.
And so did everyone else.
And so did everyone else. The only problem.
People there at the game.
Hey, the thing that's most important is that both of them are at home right now.
What are you looking at? Yeah, they were looking at this. So everybody, but unfortunately the ones who made the call thought that was a touchdown. Is this the pylon cam?
Yeah,
it might have been it was a tough day for officiating.
Yeah, it was. Really, from start to finish.
These things happen so fast, too, man. Sometimes I want to cut them a break, but
they got one job.
But then I don't.
Nah.
On a critical fourth down, Russell Wilson, the sideline for Doug Baldwin, the toe tap.
This guy's been doing this his entire
really
career.
Has.
Man.
They should have thrown it to him a little bit more in that game, huh? Maybe they would have a different outcome.
He's got it. The spin move sack. Melvin Ingram. I mean, we talked about it. He was huge for this team. He literally could not be stopped.
I've been trying to tell people forever. If there's a football player that doesn't wear gloves, you better fear him. That means he does not care about life.
The worst thing is because they were planning on giving the left guard Hurst their help. Like, that's the worst part about that.
It was too quick.
You should have set inside on him.
All right, one hop too many here. Sometimes just go down. Virgil Green makes a catch, but he's hopping on 1 foot here.
I was excellent.
Well, the only problem here is ball security in the middle of set hop. Because that can happen.
Out.
Well, you know, nobody ever tried to strip me when I was playing hopscotch.
I
rolled my rock out and did my thing.
Darren Sproles and the Eagles got the win, but he took some big hits. How about this? Deion push into next week. Whew.
I don't know if I got more fired up about anything yesterday
than this.
Than people just being physical, man. Boy, trying to hit.
Wow.
He's a big old man now. I'm
that's
telling
the last laugh, and he got the W.
Like the biggest discrepancy in tackle to runner ratio.
I almost feel bad even talking about this. I mean, we know what happened. Cody Parkey. It's actually though slightly tipped by Trayvon Hester.
Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing?
I don't know. You know
is that what we're doing?
It is what we're doing.
He went to Auburn. I don't care.
Oh, that's why you're saying.
Yeah, had he went to LSU, I'd be different.
Well, yeah, of course. Then it would be flat out stop.
Absolutely.
Take it in. Tuck it under.
Remarkable.
How about the bear?
The bear was the best part of it.
The bear.
He almost passed out.
Oh,
bear.
Poor bear.
Poor baby.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Listen, speaking for an entire Chicago Bears nation, the bear just... I don't want to pile on, so it is what it is.
That's how I felt when Demaryius Thomas was running away from my boys in Denver in 2011. I know the feeling.
Just like that?
That's how I felt.
All right, don't keel over. Stay with us. Listen, coming up, Todd Gurley looks to return from a knee injury against the Cowboys. Adam Schefter back with us. He'll have the latest on what to expect from LA's all-pro running back. Texans, of course, their season ending. There's some decisions to be made. There always are. Let's start with Tyrann Mathieu.
Tyrann Mathieu wants to return to Houston, Wendy. His contract is up. He's scheduled to be a free agent, but he would like to be back there, found a home there. Again, remember, last year at this time, he chose Houston over other teams also interested on that one-year deal, wound up playing almost 1,000 snaps, which led the team, made a lot of tackles, made a lot of plays, and would like to go back there this offseason when he does become a free agent. We'll see if the two sides can work out a deal. There's also a question regarding the future of Texans wide receiver Demaryius Thomas, who said he doesn't want to retire after the season. He does carry a big salary cap number for a player coming off a season-ending torn Achilles in Week 16. That's his second torn Achilles. He says not thinking about retirement, but he will have to think about a restructured contract there in Houston to stay if he wants to stay. If not, could find a home somewhere else. Still could be a productive player, but not at the level he once was.
All right, speaking of productivity, Todd Gurley missed the last 2 games of the regular season. It was a nagging knee injury. They need him. They like him. What's his status against the Cowboys?
Wendy, he will play against the Dallas Cowboys. He is expected to be active. It will be an almost regular workload, and I say almost regular because the Rams do want to work in C.J. Anderson. They feel like he has earned the right to spell Todd Gurley in these games with the way that he played down the stretch. And so Gurley will be out there the majority of the time, but every now and then they will be able to spell him with C.J. Anderson to get him some relief.
Good problem to have.
Yeah.
They'll take both. No question about that. Hunter Henry, the tight end, was not activated for yesterday's game. What's his situation look like?
Listen, doctors did not want to clear him for game action despite the fact that he drew raves from the Chargers in practice last week. And the sense is that this is going to be the week. Now, the Chargers really thought last week he was going to be active, and I think it was a surprise to them that his doctors didn't clear him in the end before the wild card game, but they were able to win. And with the way that he has looked in practice, I think that they believe that he can make an impact on the game. He's not going to be out there every down, of course, having torn the ACL in May and gone 7+ months without football. But he can play in certain spots, red zone, third downs, and be a weapon against the Patriots, and that is the expectation.
They'll take it. They'll take it. No question. Those are the teams that are still playing. As for those who are not, many are looking for new head coaches. Here's where we are. Jeff Legwell reporting the Broncos are interviewing Bears defensive coordinator Vic Fangio today. The Bengals will meet with Bucs offensive coordinator Todd Monken. That's according to Jeremy Fowler. But what's interesting, Adam, is the coach that really isn't interviewing, at least for NFL jobs right now, that's making some news.
Cliff Kingsbury, essentially, USC is balked at giving permission for him to interview with the Cardinals and the Jets, 2 teams that expressed interest in interviewing him. And the fact that he's not interviewed creates a very interesting situation because you wonder now, would he choose to resign and then go ahead with a head coach interview? Would he choose to just accept it? Could he take legal action and sue the NCAA, which some people have suggested? Got calls over the weekend of people in the legal community adamant that Cliff Kingsbury had a lawsuit against the NCAA if he wanted to go that route. This is an unsettled situation, and I think we'll get clarity here in the next day or two about what he wants to do and whether he's going to sit back and decline these interviews and not go forward or resign as the offensive coordinator there and take some of these interviews.
Tricky proposition, of course, especially if his career were to continue at USC. Some questions.
He could be a head coach there one day.
He could be a head coach.
There's a lot of uncertainty
You just
here.
don't know. To be continued. Ahead on NFL Live, we will also continue. Stick around to hear the best of the first round of the playoffs. It's sounds of Wild Card Weekend on deck.
I'm a rainmaker, I'm not, it's party time.
I feel like I'm a grown-ass man just in general.
Somebody's going to win the whole deal. Why not us?